Hey, today we are going to talk about adoption grief. Adoption grief. What is adoption grief? Well, what it is the fact that we all go into adoption with so much commitment, right? It's a big thing. Like you do home studies, you do trainings. In international adoption, you lay out tons of money and tons of time and you travel overseas. In domestic adoptions, it's being chosen by a birth parent or going through a long and arduous process through the foster care system. No matter how you came about your adoptive family, there was a lot invested in it. And at the end of the day, you come home and you've got a kid who rides out a nice little happy honeymoon season, hopefully. I hope you all got the honeymoon. And then reality sets in. And the struggles are real. They are painful. They can be really, really scary. And you realize whoa. In all of the classes and all of the books and all of the prayer and all of the stuff that you came to know and understand and expect about adoption, it is absolutely nothing like what you imagined it was going to be. You been there? Dads, you been there? Moms, you been there? I know I've been there. I'm Brooke Fremouw. I'm an adoptive mom to 11 children. I have kids that have come through the birth parent program. I have infants through the foster care program. I have tweens that came through foster to adopt, relinquished to the state. I've got other kids that came internationally from Ethiopia, so I've run the gamut, and I gotta tell you, I drew a line in the sand at child number 5. I closed my license at child number 5, but God had a different plan for my husband and I and our family, and I'm so thankful. But it has been hard fought and absolutely nothing like what we thought it was going to be. Now I'm a certified trauma support specialist, and so for years, I've been working with other adoptive families. I do only work specific to adoptive families, adoptive behaviors, adoption trauma, and the physiological changes that take place because of both pre-adoption and post-adoption trauma. So I am here to tell you, if your expectations were absolutely not rooted in your reality, you are not alone. You are not alone at all. We all feel like there's an element of what the heck did we get into? And there were times where I was like, I just can't. It's bigger than what I'm equipped for. This child deserves more than what I can offer. And there are other times where I was like, my best is just not going to be good enough. This child is not safe. This child does not want to be here. Would it be in the child's best interest to let them have what they want, which is an escape out of my family? We haven't done that. And I'm thankful. I am so thankful that even when our children were unsafe or struggling with mental health issues that did require out-of-home placement, I had a child that was begging us, just tell me that I'm not your child anymore and set me free from the expectation and weight of just the name, and I'll be fine. We said, we can't. We promised you, we promised our Lord, we promised ourselves and your brothers and sisters that we would never, ever sever. And so as much as that's what you think you want and need right now, I love you enough to tell you we're not gonna do that. We're gonna be the one person that never quit, even though you've been disrupted multiple times by other families. We are not going to do that to you. I gotta tell you, I wasn't sure if what we were doing was right, wrong, or otherwise. Here's the thing that's so hard. So many times, the people that do our training and our licensing, they have a lot of book knowledge, social workers, therapists. They may have been around the world of adoption, but oftentimes they're not adoptive parents. And even the ones that are adoptive parents, man, they go through the school of hard knocks and they bounce around like a pinball, right? Subject to the attitudes, behaviors, and services that their children have. And at the end of the day, they're lacking in solutions. They believe in the cause. They love their children. And yet, they don't know how to do it any better or any differently. So let's talk about it. What do you do with all of that? When you've got the child that's overly compliant, it's so much easier. I had one of those. I had one of those kiddos that came to me as a teenager. He arrived at 16. And I remember the first time he did something really, really wrong. And he hid it because he was afraid that we would ask him to leave our family, right? Sorry for the bouncing around. Yeah, he asked us, please, I'm not going to tell you this, right? Like, literally. And we ended up saying to him, listen, if we have to pay $500 to get a lie detector test, we're going to do it because we are going to confront this. And then you're going to pay us back the $500. You're going to work it off. And he was like, So he went and thought about it for a while. And when he came back, he was just a ball of tears. And he said, yeah, I did it. This is what I did. Are you going to send me back? Gosh, even just reliving that, man, to know that that's always lingering. No, you're our son. And it's not because of what you do, it's because of who you are. And so we walked through that, and we walked through the repentance and the relationship repair and his value in our home, and we were able to work through it. And I got to tell you, lesser offenses, he'd say, just hit me. It was like he equated physical consequences with being made right and being made whole. And the fact that sometimes we need to actually think about a consequence and come together as parents and then deliver what it would mean to make that right and to hold himself accountable was so much harder than just being smacked. And it was like, no. We're not just going to smack you. We're going to teach you. A totally different thing. And it was hard, and it was not what we expected, and yet it was 1,000 times easier than the kids that come with the aggression, with their rejection. Bless my dog, dear Lord. Bubba's, are you okay? He might survive. Sorry. Do you guys want to see him? Yeah. There he is. The struggle is real. He's my trauma dog, actually. He's been adopted as well, and has recently been working on getting certified as a support animal. So, yeah, side note, I apologize. In any event, the ones that are aggressive in their rejection, right? What ends up happening is they try so hard. They realize that their best is still not perfect, that they're never going to live up to the perfect that they think is required. Not that you set, but that they think is required in order not to be rejected, and therefore they self-sabotage, right? They try and take charge by getting more aggressive. Never mind, I don't want to be here anyway. Never mind, I hate you, you're not my parent. And so the aggression comes out. Deception and aggression, right? They just sneak and hide in order that you wouldn't know their truth. When you find their truth, they deny it, they get physical, they run away, their fight or flight instincts are all over the place. You've got therapists, you've got meds, and at the end of the day, you're like, holy cow, this child controls the temperature in this house, and literally, I am losing my mind, and I don't know how to get it back. All the therapy is not working, all the meds aren't working, all of the talking doesn't work, all of my yelling doesn't work, all of the positive reinforcements, nothing. I take away their freedoms and privileges, and then it's punishment for us both. Like, Lord, there is grief. Your child is stuck in grief. You are stuck in grief, and you don't know how to get out of it. I hear you. I see you. I've been there. And then you wonder, like, is this even fair to the rest of the family? Am I even going to have the strength to parent the other kids that aren't bringing all of this into the house? And so you got the tail wagging the dog, and you're just wondering, did I make a huge mistake? And if you're asking yourself those questions, it means you're human. You don't need to hold shame over the fact that you're scared, that this is hugely not what they trained you for, that this is not what you saw when you saw those adoptive families on Facebook, right? You are human. You're a mother. You're a father. Your heart was laid out for a child, and now it first is getting little darts thrown at it, right? Then they turn on to full spears, and before you know it, the child's like stabbing and stomping, and you're like, holy cow! How could I lay out all that I am and all that I have for this kind of pain? The grief can be so real. But can I tell you something? Can I give you the upside and the hope that goes beyond all hope? I had a child that was before I was a certified trauma support specialist, before I worked in a clinical practice, before I brought about Journey University for adoptive families, before solutions were with me. This child from the age of 13 to 18 was in and out of 4 residential treatment programs. And literally every time we brought her back home and we tried to stabilize the home, self-sabotage would get there. And I thought, Lord, for this child just not to be in prison at the age of 18 is a huge prayer. Huge prayer. And now, mid-20s, beautiful child who I love so, so much and who knows how to be in a right relationship. Right? Like I look at her and I'm like, you're a miracle. Yeah, no jail, no drugs. The girl, not that she hasn't been through her stuff. She has. But she is a solid woman who we love to have over, who has the most beautiful daughter, made me a grandma. It does get better when you can be consistency, when your messaging is commitment despite. Got another kiddo that was in high school, already well past 18 years old, and decided, hey, listen, I don't need to follow the rules. And was pretty firm on that, and pretty firm on the fact that, like, they didn't want to be a part of our family anymore. And we said, you don't have to live under our roof. Let us help facilitate that until you do graduate. We worked with the school and put him close to the school. And after he graduated, he was an angry, resentful, hurt young man. And I was hurt as a mother, and Dad was hurt as a father, and siblings were confused. And that child now owns a home, keeps a job, and is in such a right relationship. I miss my older kids. Now, I've still got littles. I've still got a 10-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 17-year-old all at home. And then the others are all over the age of 18 now and functioning with independent living. And 3 of them have bought homes. But let me tell you, our house is a hoot come Christmas. Our house is fun. Gingerbread decorating contests and the white elephant gifts and all of the things. So if you're stuck in grief, it is painful. I tell you, there are resources that I didn't have, that I do have now for my kids, that I do help other families with. Click subscribe so that you don't miss these videos, and hop on to thetraumamama.com. Thetraumamama.com. Look in the description on this video. You'll see links to my Facebook page. My Facebook is the most interactive with tools, skills, and connection. You don't have to walk this journey alone. You can make a drastic change in the temperature of your house and put body regulation and trauma-informed care right at the heart of everything that you do, and a system that you can follow so you don't have to get stuck in what do I do with this behavior, and get the live support weekly. All of that exists for you. So if you need it here and now, we're here for you here and now. But can I give you the hope of tomorrow? Sometimes I would be like, oh my word, if we just get graduated, it'll be a miracle. And the truth is, like, wow, God is bigger. The importance of family never quitting, even in the ugly, it is so impactful for what our kids are capable to do. And seeing the fruit in that with so many of my kids that are now adults, I hope it encourages you, because now when I see crazy stuff going on with the kids, some of the maladaptive skill sets, thinkings, attitudes, behaviors, when I see those things crop up, I have a peace that I didn't have before, right? Because I can look at that and go, yep, I remember your sibling did this, and look where they are today. Where before I didn't have that reference. And so I thought, dear Lord, am I going to lose them forever? Are they going to be lost into a system of mental health and prison? I know I'm laughing now, but I know that you know what I'm talking about, right? So let that be an encouragement to you. I hope that you guys, if you're stuck in that grief spot, that one, you feel less alone, and that two, you know resources are available, and that three, if you could just zoom forward 10 years and look at where you're going to be then, that it would give you the peace to endure today and let go of the fear, not parent out of a place of fear, but parent out of a place of conviction. All right, that's all I have for you today. Again, click subscribe and share so that we can get as many people reached for the blessings that adoption can be and help them to overcome the struggles so that they too can have success stories. Check it out later. Bye.